Namaskar, Pranam. I welcome all of you once again on this platform of Pavitra, where we are constantly trying to make all of our lives more beautiful and more meaningful. And this particular endeavor is on the same way, on the same path of trying to help you and all of us, including me, to lead a better and a more meaningful life. Cleanliness is a very important part of our life, whether we talk about externally environmental issues which we are facing and the internal issues which we face of anger, greed, envy, filled with a lot of dirt, and continuously trying to clean that through various methods. The mind, which is constantly running from here to there, wanting this and wanting that, hankering and lamenting. So, trying to get rid of those two, cleaning that also out, somehow leading a more peaceful and content life and more meaningful life. And this endeavor, decluttering and organizing our cupboards, our homes, and subsequently our lives too. So we have a very special guest with us. She has been on this platform before, but not as a guest, but as a host. But today, she's here with us as a guest, inspiring us and educating us how to lead a more meaningful life like her own self. So she used to be a teacher for SATs, teaching children how to go abroad, how to learn, and how to lead, become more prosperous in their lives, going and doing further studies abroad, including GMAT, which was for a very short time. And last year, she was diagnosed with cancer, had a difficult time fighting that, and of course, had a lot of time to herself to reflect upon her life. And at that time, she came across a lot of people from whom she learned a lot. And one of the things was that she wanted to lead a more holistic and healthy life. So which she's practicing in her own life too, leading a very, very holistic and healthy life. Maybe that topic we could discuss another time. But there was another thing which she found at this time, or rather she had been working on this since last 4-5 years, how to help people organize their space and subsequently their life. She also calls herself organizing ninja. And this person is none other than Sujata Rathore. I welcome you, Sujata, to our platform once again.
Thank you.
But this time as a very esteemed guest.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. So humbled to be here on this platform. And like you rightly said, I have been on this. So first, I was on this platform as a viewer. I used to watch the amazing programs that Pavitra team hosts. And then I was the moderator on a few occasions. And today I'm on yet another side as a moderator, if such a word even exists. So thank you. I'm really excited for this session and hope I can contribute something.
I'm quite sure you will. And everybody will know by the end of it what I mean. So this is a very, very amazing topic, which you have chosen, cleanliness. So since we all are quite blank over here, so could you tell us a little about your journey? How did we reach this, this field of decluttering and organizing?
Yeah. So, Mataji, as a child, I don't really remember being a very organized and a tidy person. In fact, I remember my mom chiding me कि ये ठीक कर लो, अपनी dresser ठीक कर लो. So I don't know, probably it was lying dormant in me. And that time, those were the 70s. So you didn't even have that much access to take care of. So probably I think what she spoke about was cleaning, And so I don't know when this organizing bug hit me and when I became like, the title of OCD was conferred upon me before I knew it by my family, especially my husband and son. So Priya, I'm sorry, but I have to keep looking, but I'm sorry at Mataji here and there. So uh, so where was I? So yeah, I don't know where, probably it was dormant in me. And so I really don't know when, this bug really hit me. And I was known as the Monica of the Friends series, if, people have heard of her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then in 2016, I stumbled upon this amazing book by Mary Kondo, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And true to its name, it was really life-changing. And so before that also I was, and for a person like me, who's inherently an order-loving person, it was like manna from heaven. It is such a fantastic guide, a manual on how you can declutter and organize your home. And I'm the kind of person who can read these kind of books just for fun, honestly. So then enthused, all after having read the book, I don't think I even finished it. I took upon the chore of decluttering my wardrobe. And now, Priya can show the slide.
Okay,
Sorry.
this is how your wardrobe looked. It looks quite clean to me. So I'm waiting to see the other one also.
So this was the clutter. No, so even this is like in such, neatly stacked piles. So, but I want to tell you here that I was I was very organized, but I was an organized hoarder. I was a hoarder. So I used to organize my excesses also very well. और मुझे लगता था, just, clutter जो दिख नहीं रहा है, cupboard में डाल दो, organize, just beautify it, and it's okay. But after having read the book, I realized how decluttering and discarding is so important. And, before also I was inherently an order-loving person, but the book taught me, it just gave me the culture of letting go. The culture of letting go took hold. So yes, that's a little bit.
I may sound a little, Sujata, a little illiterate over here, but I have heard this name for the first time from you only. So if you could tell me a little more about Mary Kondo.
Yeah, so
and everything.
So she is like a tidying sensation in the organizing world. She's a tidying guru. She's a sensation worldwide. So initially, of course, she's a Japanese tidying consultant. Yes, that is a legitimate profession. So, being a tidying consultant. So initially, of course, her work was restricted to Japan because of the language barrier. But now she is like popular all over the world, and especially in North America. So, she's a craze. And she's written quite a few bestsellers on this topic. And last year, early 2019, her series released on Netflix. And so she became quite popular in India also. So yeah, but clearly I don't think as that so that you've heard.
No, but I'm seeing a lot of programs which have been coming, like even Home Edit and
yes,
things.
Yes. So it started with, so she released her Netflix series early last year and sometime in Jan 2019. So even Indians became open to the idea of having a professional come home and do the, help them declutter and tidy. So what basically she does is she helps people declutter and organize their homes. And she's the creator of the famous KonMari method. So yeah.
I think today you're going to prove it that I'm an illiterate person. We go ahead and one more question regarding that.
Actually, you would know if you've not heard of Mary Kondo. So KonMari, it's a synergy of her first and her last name, Mary Kondo, so KonMari. And basically it just consists of, it can be broadly classified into two components. The first one being discarding, decluttering, that's deciding what you want to keep. And the second would be then organizing and sorting what you have decided to keep. So these are the basic two steps of her method. Of course, we'll discuss.
She only came up with this whole method.
Absolutely. She has designed it because, so I'll tell you a little bit about her since you're asking. She was inherently like me. Okay. But I think she made it her life's mission to find out a way that because she was not happy. Like despite being an organizing expert, she used to read these organizing magazines when she was 5, and when she was a teenager, she used to go through, these how to, these kind of magazines where you learn how you declutter and organize. But still, she was not happy. And then finally, over the period of so many years, she finally devised this method. And yeah, it's her own method. It's created by her after a lot of hard work and thought into it, and experience, of course.
So Sujata, this whole thing which we are discussing, organizing part, I still to some extent I understand, but decluttering and discarding and all these things, what are the benefits of that?
Okay, yeah, we'll cover that first. So, I mean, I think now it's proven, even science has proven, and the psychologists also believe that the more stuff, the more clutter we have around us, the more overloaded our brains become. And it becomes so difficult for us to savor the things that truly matter in our lives. So, tidying helps us get in touch with what we want and what we need to change. Because external order increases the discipline also. So, I mean, you imagine you have a clean desk, you have space to think here also. And, the geniuses like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, they know that what they do, they wear the same uniform every day to work, because they understand that every morning we wake up with a limited amount of willpower and mental focus. Then why waste it on trivial choices? On example, what to eat and what to wear? Rather, so they automate their basic activities, and they focus their willpower on more important activities. And what do we do? By the end of the day, we have decision fatigue, because there's so much, our to-do lists are so long, because there is so much space. More possessions we have, the more maintenance they require. So and by the end of the day, then you start making unwise choices, like watching some stupid TV show or eating junk food. So, and also, I also want to add here that, when you're in the process of clearing, decluttering, discarding, you're making room for more interesting, important, and beautiful things to come into your life. It could be anything, like it could be a fulfilling job, it could be a relationship, it could be any creative pursuit, it could be anything. So, आप जब साफ कर रहे हो अपनी जगह, physical space, so it makes room in your, mental space too.
I'm really now looking forward to this. So now I'm eagerly waiting.
Of course, and also, sorry to interrupt.
No, please, no, I shouldn't be interrupted. Please.
So, there are a few testimonials as, people, that things were stuck, they weren't moving. So after having KonMari their home, things started opening up for them. Even for me, it has been such a dramatic experience, because like I told you, I was a hoarder. So, mera din aise hi chale jata tha, because I wanted everything organized. So decision लो कि ये कहाँ रखना है, कैसे रखना है, सब organize करो. So, and after having followed this method, I have so much time on my hands, and I'm living the life that I envisioned to live right now, honestly speaking. I used to dream of that. I want to live my life, but I didn't know how to. And I used to think, organizing everything, like what's going wrong? But I didn't realize that you need to clear your physical space, to clear your mental space as well, and make room for some, beautiful, fulfilling things to enter your life.
Yeah, actually, I heard this from first time. This whole thing, what you're mentioning right now, from Jim Quick. He teaches how we can learn better and how we can store in our heads better.
Yeah.
Start and declutter yourself, and then you can store things very easily and remember things.
You want to share something? I mean, like about him, like.
No, that's about it. Yeah. This is what I remember. And him saying, and especially this thing also, that most of the people they try and not clutter their waste their time or their thoughts on what to eat and what to wear, and they fix their menus, they fix their clothes of what they're going to wear, so they don't use the extra time.
Exactly, like I spoke about.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, so this is the first time I heard it from him. So
Okay.
Yeah, this is really.
Yes, he teaches how to learn faster, right?
Yes,
how to remember things.
Yeah. and so much more you can remember, such amazing ways to remember.
You followed it? Because then
Yeah, so I tried to follow it for some time, but no, I didn't. Actually, my daughter was doing it, so I was sitting with her, and
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing which I really want to know now, since you've spoken so much about it, is that what is the method? How do we lead a life? What you're mentioning, you know, how do we follow these? What is the method to declutter and organize?
Yeah. So Mary Kondo, of course, I mean, she's an organizing expert. So you can be rest assured that even her methods are very systematic. So there are the 6 essential rules of tidying, the KonMari way. And before I begin with the 6 essential rules of tidying, I want to say that tidying, what does it mean for us? It is not just putting away your clutter, which is in a messy, and just hiding it behind closed doors. So you're creating an illusion of a clean space, but behind, what you've put behind the closed doors is also clutter. So it's, you haven't tidied it. So, and yeah, now we can begin with, yeah. So the first rule we can start. So can we have that?
Yeah.
So, I forgot to mention, I think when Priya had put that picture of the pile of clothes. So I just want to tell the viewers, earlier when I was talking about my journey,
Yeah.
she had, there was a slide of the pile of clothes. So that is when I had attempted, when I had, like embarked on this journey. And those were the pile of clothes that I had decluttered just after having read a few pages. And I was so inspired to.
Oh, so you had that was your decluttered.
Yeah, that was my decluttering pile. Even that was so organized,
Yeah. That's why I cannot imagine when you're saying that you were not organized at some point
No,
of
I
time.
was organized, Mataji. I am always maintaining that. I was always organized, but I didn't know how to discard and declutter. I did not know that. I was a hoarder. So, okay, now we'll come to our first step and first rule. So it says visualize your goals, your destination. So, before we begin on this tidying expedition, this tidying gala, just ask yourself that, why do you want to tidy? That what is it that you hope to achieve through tidying? Visualize your ideal lifestyle. Like how do you propose to live once your space is in order? And vividly, concretely imagine and write it down in a notebook. So what this will do is, when you're in the middle of tidying, it'll, and if you're stuck, you will remember, you can look at it and you'll remember that why had you embarked on this journey of tidying. So it could be anything, for somebody, it could be like coming from a hard day's work and spending, just some quality time with their family, or just indulging in some aromatherapy and candles. Or for some, it could be you want to, you're the kind who entertains guests, or you want to have devotional programs at home. Whatever it is, visualize how you want to live your life once your house is in order. Because tidying is just a means, it's not the end. It's a tool. The true goal is to establish the lifestyle you want once your house is in order. So this is a very crucial step. Don't skip this step, because it might just cause rebound, because in the middle of tidying you might just, it's too tiring and all. Go back. Why did you, like, what do you hope to achieve through this process? So
Yeah, I have, Sujata, I have a confession to make out here that, I've visualized it a lot, but I have not been successful.
So I want to add here that after visualization, one needs to take physical action as well. I mean, there are, like, this is just the first step. So if you follow the five other steps, I'm sure you'll be successful at it. Just visualizing is not going to help, though that's the first step.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we have done a lot of visualization. So first step, we can kind of think
how you want to live in a clutter-free environment. So that is the step that you need to, and if it's difficult for you, so for some it might be, write it down or draw a picture. And if it's difficult for you to vividly imagine, look at interior design magazines, but don't spend too much time on that. Just browse through it, like come to a picture, like whatever appeals to you, speaks to your heart, and refer to it whenever you're stuck in the midst of tidying.
Yeah. So you keep inspiring yourself. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because otherwise it can be difficult. This method is like, you just, okay, we'll talk more about it, when we
In
go
the
to the next step.
yeah,
Let me see
sure.
if I've covered everything. Yeah. And of course, yeah. The first step also helps you to get into a, good headspace to begin
Right.
your tidying gala. Okay, now the second is tidy in one go. What does this mean? Start by discarding intensely, thoroughly, completely in one swoop, in one burst, in one go. Now, it might overwhelm a few people. This doesn't mean one day. It depends on the stuff that you have. It depends on the amount of stuff that you have, the size of your home, and your decision making skills, what you want to keep, what you want to discard. So it can range from anywhere from a couple of weeks to a few months. So yeah, it might seem overwhelming and long for few people, but what the goal here is to create a change so profound that you transform the whole scenery. There are other methods which mention, like we'd spoken about it earlier, which mention that discard one item a day, or discard, if you've not worn it for 3 months or 6 months or a year, discard it. But that process is slow, and by the end of it, you're tired and the day is over and you don't make any headway and you just give up. Whereas in this process, if you dramatically reorganize your house, it'll dramatically change your lifestyle. So that is the goal,
For a little time, you live around and mess.
One go. Sorry?
So for little time, you can live around and mess till the time you...
Yes, absolutely. There will be a mess because of course, you can't do it in one day. There will be a mess. But again, refer to that picture that you had visualized, like that, whatever you had envisioned. And it's like just, and the amount in your home is finite. It has to come to an end. It is not infinite.
Yeah. So we remove all the clothes and all the books and all the...
We'll come to that, we'll go step by step. Okay. So when we are doing this tidy in one go, we go so when we'll talk about it when I go to the next step.
Okay.
But yeah, so I want people to understand the reason for this step is to create like a sudden, the key is to make a sudden transformation.
Right.
Otherwise you will, following the other methods.
Not take out section by section.
Sorry?
Not take out one section at a time.
This is what this third one means.
Okay.
The third step is tidy by category, not by location. What this means is, now, if we can have that slide, I think people might have watched this, tidy by category, not by location. If Priya can just show that slide of the 5 categories that Marie Kondo has given a specific order. Is she there? So what this means is, Mataji, meanwhile, I'll just, yes.
Yeah.
So what this means is, this is the order that you follow, as far as tidying is concerned. Don't do it by location, meaning, कि आज मैंने ये एक room किया, मेरा bedroom किया, ये drawer किया, then I'll do my kitchen, then I'll do my guest bedroom. No, it won't work like that.
Right.
Just address the category one by one. And she has given this specific order because clothes are the easiest to tackle. Clothes will include shoes and bags, yes. So they are the easiest to tackle. And if you see, sentimental items are the last. So they become progressively difficult to tackle as you move down. So what you do in this method is, suppose you start with the first category. Now I'll come and address your question that you were asking, Mataji.
Yeah.
So what you do is you take out, okay, you don't give a cursory glance in your wardrobe. Taking out all of them is very important. Okay. It might seem easy for you to just give a glance on your bookshelf or your wardrobe and just weed out what you don't want. No, don't do that. it's very important for you. I'll tell you the reason why. It's very important. Suppose we're dealing with clothes. We're on the first category. So, we pile up all our clothes wherever they're stored. We don't, like most of the people don't tend to store the similar items of the same category in the same place. They're scattered all over the house. They might be scattered all over the house. Your clothes might be in your wardrobe. They might be in the loft. They might be in your guest bedroom closet. They might be in some drawer. So get all of them together and make a pile. What this will help you do is you will be able to accurately gauge how much you have hoarded. The sheer volume will shock you. The sheer volume of that particular category, of the items of that particular category, will shock you. Of course, clothes, you can, again, divide it into subcategories like, your Indian wear, your saris, or your Indian wear and your Western wear, or, again, to make it easier, because it can be too overwhelming. So when
I'm so relieved, actually, Sujata.
Sorry?
I was thinking that you are asking us to remove everything, put it on bed, and then so now we have to do it in.
That's the ideal way, but of course you can't compare your one salwar to the other top. So take one category, but of course everything. See, then you are the best judge. You know how much you've hoarded and how many clothes you have. It'll be different for different people. If you only have a limited number of things, you can take it all out at once. But if you have like like a mountain of clothes, then take it like a step at a time. So again, you can divide it, like your salwars, your saris. Of course, you can't compare your saris with your Western wear. So the idea is, you're able to figure out how much you own. It gives you like a reality check that this is the amount you've hoarded through the years. And two, what it does, Mataji, is that you're not dealing with the same category multiple times when you encounter them through the house, in the house.
So not cupboard wise, but
not yes. So that is what it means when we say tidy by category, not by location.
Yeah.
And this method really works. But you can, of course, tweak it as per your convenience. But keep these broad principles intact.
So like bills and
that will come in miscellaneous, because again, that those will come in miscellaneous.
Okay.
Because it becomes difficult, you're not honed your decision making. Yes, you've not. So clothes are the easiest. It's easy to decide ki ye rakhna hai, nahi rakhna hai. And sentimental items are going to be the toughest. So if you start with sentimental items, it'll just spell disaster, because you'll be busy looking at the photographs, and you'll read some letters, and you'll make no headway, and your tidying process will just come to a halt. So, and then by the time you reach from clothes to books, to papers, to miscellaneous, to sentimental, you would have honed your decision making skills.
Yeah.
That's why this is the order that she has given. It's amazing. I mean, I think she's just put her heart and soul in creating this.
So much. I feel otherwise also, in the process of doing this, we declutter our mind also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you'll feel so light once you do it. You'll feel so good. I mean, you've got to try it to believe it.
Yeah. Because sometimes they have just collected over a period of time so many things, and we don't know how to let go. Absolutely. So if we deal with it one by one, maybe it might help.
Yes.
Like by category, the way you have mentioned.
Yes.
So I'm just and I'm saying, wow, this is very nicely, a thorough study which has gone into this.
Yeah, absolutely. She's done an amazing job. I mean, she's a tidying guru. She's a sensation. So people worship her.
Yes. So we move on to the
next step. And also, Mataji, I wanted to say with these each of the categories, we can deal with each of the category whenever, if we have a session next time, because it'll be too difficult to cover, like how you deal with clothes and how you deal with books and so on and so forth. So the detailed questions we can take on that probably sometime later.
Right. And plus, we can consult you also, isn't it, Sujata?
Absolutely. More than willing.
Yes.
So Yeah.
So
Okay.
this sounds really nice, but I don't understand it. So.
Yes. So the spark, does it spark joy? The spark joy method is synonymous with the KonMari method. I mean, this is what she's known for. So this is the main selection criterion. You know, when you're choosing what to keep and what to discard, this is the main selection criterion in her method. So how is this different from the regular ineffective methods? Sorry, I'm calling them ineffective because they have been ineffective for me. So, you know, this method focuses on choosing what to keep rather than what to discard. So yes, sorry, I mean, you know, like we're moving from so just getting, so yeah, this is what it focuses on, you know. And whereas other methods, like we spoke earlier, what do they focus on? Discard one item at a time, or one item per day, or discard, like if you've not worn it for a year or 6 months.
This I remember, Sujata.
Focus. Yes.
A friend of mine actually, of course, used to do this. So that was very fascinating for me, that if she doesn't use something for 6 months, she would discard it.
But of course, I mean, that's okay. But unless and until, I mean, that's such a slow process, it's not going to have an impact on your life. We've got so much stuff. We're burdened with, how much, hoardings we have. And this has proven to be so effective. So, and it's such a positive approach, Mataji. If you see, you're not, you're asking, does it? So I will just come to that step. So what you do is you're choosing what you keep, not what you discard. Okay. So what you do is, suppose the categories, you've piled up all your clothes in a spot. Okay. You take out each item from the pile, hold it close to your heart and ask yourself, does it spark joy, Sujata? Is it making you happy? Is it speaking to your heart? If yes, keep it. Else, discard it. So it's such a positive approach, to the whole thing. And it'll help you identify what you love and what you need. I know it might be puzzling to a lot of people, it's a vague criterion, mumbo jumbo, she's talking, does it spark joy? But I feel it's such a positive approach to focus on, like, does it spark joy rather than saying, do I hate it?
Yeah, something which I just realized, that basically, usually what we do when we are looking at a cupboard, we say, oh, I don't need this, and we remove it. I don't need this.
Yes.
So we are choosing our enemies and instead of our friends.
Yes. So very well said. So well said. Absolutely. That's why I said don't weed out while they're still hanging in your closet or while they're still on the bookshelf. Take them all out. And so many times what happens is, Mataji, when they're still on the bookshelf, suppose the books, you've not read them for years. Okay. And they're in plain sight, but they become invisible to you because they've been untouched.
Yeah.
So that is why it's very important to weed them out for you to, for you to feel, touch it, that do you want to keep it or do you want to just let it go?
Yeah. This spark joy thing, I have a small little plate next to my bedside, which has been painted by my granddaughter.
Oh, that's so
and
amazing.
It's a messy painting because she's 3.5 now. So I think she must have given it to me about 7-8 months back, or maybe 9 months back. But it really sparks joy in my heart. So when you said spark joy, that's the first thing which came in my mind.
So yes. So when you are stuck, Mataji, you can just hold that. If you're, you can hold that, okay, and compare the feelings. So, so at this stage, it might be very difficult for people to discern because we are not used to doing this. So it's very difficult to identify that, is it making me happy? Because we've dulled our, that sense. Because, we're surrounded by clutter all the time, mental and physical. So what you can do is, suppose if I ask you, choose the 3 best things from your wardrobe or from your bookshelf, something. So you'll be able to immediately identify. So compare that feeling, what you feel when you hold that stuff, to what you're holding when you want to choose. So it's you have to compare.
I don't know if anything will come as close to that.
Oh, that's so amazing. But then, you choose the same category, Mataji. As far as clothes are concerned, choose your best 3 possessions in that particular category and then compare it.
Yes.
So it'll help you. And also I want to add here something that, and still, if you're not able to do it, and still if you're stuck, Even after comparing with your best items, you're stuck. So a few
Yeah,
questions.
it is so difficult at times. Yes.
Yeah. So then a few questions that helped me. So one was, will I buy this today? No. Then go, will I buy this today? Second was, is it easily replaceable? So even if you are in like, a dilemma, if it's easily replaceable, there'll be more chances of you to discard it, because if you're unsure about it, because if it's, you can, if you miss it after a few months, you can easily buy it again. So that is one. And you could also ask, will I miss it if a friend borrows it and never returns? Will I miss that, piece of clothing or a book? Or so these questions, but stick to them only while you've not been able to develop that skill, hone that skill of decision making, of whether you want to keep it, whether it sparks joy. So, yeah.
Wow. So what, three things you said. Will I buy it now? Will
Yeah.
I miss it when it goes? And this one more thing you said.
Is it easily replaceable?
Is it easily replaceable? Okay.
Yeah.
That'll help for sure, because otherwise it might, that's what I was saying, nothing might come as close to,
Yeah.
as that small little thing for me. But yeah, this will make sense. It'll help me to take a decision whether, yeah.
And also, right now, what our questions are: what if I need it someday? What if
Yes.
my family needs it someday? What if my family, like my neighbor, needs it someday? That someday never comes. Like, because that's
true.
taboo. That's taboo. What if it comes in handy someday? It's taboo. So, yes.
So true. We make excuses not to let it go.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why it's like the spark joy method, to decide what to keep rather than what to discard. So, yes. So this is the fifth essential rule of tidying: declutter or discard before organizing. This is very important. Declutter first, organize later, because if in the middle of the process of discarding, if you start organizing, okay, this will fit in this drawer, or I'll put it away, you'll get distracted. It'll be a huge distraction, and the process of discarding will come to a halt. Because as it is, it's difficult for us. This whole process, we are still honing our skills, as far as decision making is concerned, because discarding is a difficult process. So once, if you decide that, कि चलो ये मैंने choose कर लिया, ये रखना, and I will just arrange it here, and don't do that. And also, once you've decided what you want to keep and what you're letting go, when you've decluttered, take each item and thank it. Express your gratitude towards it. It'll really help. I know, again, people might think it's some mumbo jumbo, but I think it's such a spiritual approach she has. One is spark joy and the other is expressing gratitude. You can just say thank you for having made me look good, or thank you for giving me pleasure, or if it's a book, or if it's a kitchen item, thank you for making my life easy, or bringing ease into my life. So just appreciate. Or if some piece of clothing that you've never worn, thank you, because now I know what I don't need. Even if you've not worn it or used it, you can still say thank you. It's an important step. Just express your gratitude. Thank you, because now you've made me realize what I don't need and what I don't like. So,
Actually,
yes.
it's so beautiful. Nobody will ever feel lonely if we start, expressing gratitude to
Yes.
things also. We are forgetting to say thank you to people
Yes.
now, telling us to
Yeah,
say,
exactly.
our
कि
gratitude
सोच
to.
रहे होंगे पता नहीं ये क्या mumbo jumbo, she's talking.
No, but this is there in our culture. So I remember, like, when we go for a holiday and we are leaving that place where we stayed for whatever 4, 5, 15, 1 month, whatever days we have stayed there, we look around, bow down, saying thank you to let us stay in this place for these many days. So we are really grateful. So expressing our gratitude to things has been there. And like if we touch something with our foot,
Yeah.
we say like this,
Yeah.
I touched you by my feet. So basically that shows we
Yes.
are personal with even impersonal.
Yes. That's so well said, Mataji. Absolutely. So true. So true.
So this is
So,
really,
yeah, I think we can.
yeah. So sorry, this is, I think the
So I think it's just the sixth step. It's okay. I mean, I just thought that people can look at, yeah. So yeah, so now this is the final, the last step. This is the actual organizing and sorting of your home after you've decided what to keep. So give a home to every item that you've decided to keep. So designate a spot for everything that you've decided to keep. So once you do that, it'll just prevent your space from becoming messy again, because you know that it has a place. So, you know, sometimes it might happen you have kids, or you're busy in some wedding, or some, you know, you've not had time, or you're tired, and the place becomes messy. But that's not clutter, because you know after 2 days, when you're okay, when you have time, you will put it back in its place. So yeah, I mean,
So this is what, when I was discussing it with you that just 2-3 days back. So this stayed in my head that you have to give a home to this. So I'm telling my help over there, because you know in the refrigerator they usually place things here and there. I said ये उनका घर है. ये सब
so sweet.
सब dips का घर है. So then, you know, he really understood what I was trying to say. आपको घर से कोई निकाल के कहीं और बिठा दे, आपको अच्छा लगेगा. So yeah, this is such a nice way to put it. Give a home to every item that you decided to keep.
So what you're doing, like, is anthropomorphizing. I think, if that's Shubha is there to correct me, if you know, that's making inanimate objects animate. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I mean, and
yeah. So I have a few questions.
So before that, also, Mataji, I want to talk about some storage here. You know,
Okay.
so there are so many storage solutions and storage systems being promoted in the market. I'm not saying don't buy them, but it's very important to declutter first and then organize. Because what will happen otherwise is that what I did, you will become a storage expert like how I used to be. You'll have lots of clutter, but I mean, lots of possessions, and they'll all be buried in your beautiful storage systems and behind in your wardrobes, behind the closet. So first declutter and then invest in these, you know, so-called storage solutions. Or in the process of decluttering, Mataji, you might even come across, you know, jewelry boxes, shoe boxes, or whatever, which you can. Hence, you don't start organizing. That's what before we start, finish our decluttering process.
So you mean we can find these storage options at home also while we are decluttering? That's what you mean?
Absolutely, because that's what I have done. I have not invested in fancy, honestly speaking. Of course, I've bought some baskets, but I have used shoe box. I have used some, you know, chocolate box. I have used an old jewelry box, which I found in my process of discarding. Honestly speaking, I mean, I don't have pictures. I could have shared them, you know, I should have earlier, but yeah, so that's what I've done. And of course, I mean, you can go, but declutter first. Of course, you can beautify your space with these fancy, and of course, they do help too. But decluttering first is very important, because otherwise, you know, what happens is we get tempted to just, we don't discard, and we get tempted to just store everything in those and beautify it, you know, and we don't know how much we've hoarded. We don't realize that. So that is what happens. So yeah.
So before we invest in any storage options from outside, we review our own cupboard while decluttering.
Yes.
If we have any storage options at home itself.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. So now I have a question, since I was talking about my granddaughter, that when children are at home, so this is a way of living, what you're teaching us right now. It's a way of living. Can it be taught to children too? Or we have to wait for them to grow up, and you know, what is the process?
So how old age? Okay, so I'll tell you. Firstly, young children, most definitely it should be taught, because you're teaching them other skill sets. So why not organizational skills? I mean, आप दूसरा तो सब सिखा रहे हो उनको, painting and other things, so many other things, sports and all. So this is a life skill which will help them through their lives. So it's very important to teach them. And also, if they're too young, Mataji, I would like to tell the parents that the joy of parenting far transcends the joy of a neat home. So it's okay. Be forgiving of yourself. Kabhi mess ho gaya to. But you yourself should, the mothers, the parents, sorry, should themselves do it smilingly with a smiling face. So they see it as a pleasurable everyday activity, not like a chore, you know. They will see, okay,
Not
something
punishment case. Now, since
like
you've
a
been
punishment.
taught how you clean
Yes.
up.
Yes. So do it smilingly and make it playful. And like I said, for the every toy and book, again, give a home so they can assist you in putting things back in place. If you've not I mean, if they don't have a space, they can't help you, because of course they are too young to, discard and to judge
Yeah.
what they want to keep. But still, you can ask them the question. As far as decluttering is concerned, it just struck me that you can just ask them, do you think it's time for some other kid to enjoy this toy? You can just ask them and see what the response would be, and they would answer it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
beautifully put. Yeah, this is so nicely. So, we don't have to wait for them to become 12, 13, or
No,
15.
no, that time they won't learn. I mean, it's too late. It's too late. And also one more thing, Mataji, I would suggest that they create a routine rather than, parents giving them random chores. Today do this, today do that. Create a routine. So like brushing, that it becomes a routine. Even the organizing, it becomes a routine. It becomes natural. It becomes second nature. So they don't have to think about it. It just becomes second nature. Instead
But
of
this
giving
is,
them random chores.
yeah, yeah. So this is about children, Sujata, but what about other people in the house? Not everybody will have my thought process of,
Absolutely.
leading a certain kind of the kind of decluttering and organizing I want to do might not be the case with the people staying at home. Could be a spouse, could be parents, could be, siblings.
Yeah.
So
So
how do
firstly,
we
yeah,
don't, do we force them also to follow
not
the same?
at all, not at all. The first, let me burst your bubble. You can't impose on anybody else unless and until they are young children on how to, by how to live life by your rules. You can't impose on them, and don't encroach on their space either. And some people are just happy with their space. It's okay. Some people are just not ready to embark on this tidying expedition. It's still okay. So, and you do your decluttering and organizing quietly, and you might see a change in them. It might happen that you might see a change in them. And, more uh, often than not, what happens is when, we are judging somebody else for their failure to tidy, we need to look at our own space. We need to look at our own space, and there's definitely something that you need to discard. It's a finger pointing back at us, that you need to confront with your own hoardings and your own stuff. That's a sign when you're judging somebody else. And ऐसा तो होगा नहीं कि आपकी family में I've been there, done that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't.
Yeah. Every habit has to come from within.
Yeah. And you can do your own thing. I mean, you do your own space quietly, and they might see a change.
Yeah. So, like this habit of, how do we deal with this habit of, the consumerism which we have to buy things, this, how do we deal with that? Like, does this help
Absolutely.
in that habit?
Absolutely. Because absolutely, hoarding and consumerism is becoming increasingly, I mean, it's increasing, I mean, I think online shopping is also increasing to our clutter, and the media
Yeah.
keeps bombarding us with, stuff to buy every day. But still, I think the lockdown has taught us that what we truly need are just the bare essentials. I think that was a
Yeah.
blessing in disguise. But yes, coming to this method, it will truly help, because you've you're honing your skills to discern what sparks joy in your life. So you will be able to choose in all areas of your life, and it'll transcend in all areas of your life, that what sparks joy for you.
Actually, this is such a mindful way of living, because you are living, you are living in that moment. Whenever you are talking to, when you're looking at things, you're not just, you're present over there. So I think when I was just talking to, I feel this could help people who are shopaholics also, who can't help themselves, and they say, okay, just a click away. Okay, I'll return it back.
They
I
need
can
to
buy
plunge
it.
into this, they need to plunge into this method wholeheartedly. And the most, the benefit which people get? These kind of people. They will see a dramatic impact on their lives. The kind who are hoarders.
Yeah.
It'll be the most beneficial for them, for these kind of people.
Actually, now that whatever you have been saying, I can understand. So at that time, I thought in brackets we have written subsequently your life. I can see it because it's a change of habit which you are doing. So you will start doing the same with your thoughts too in the
Yes.
process. Yeah. So one last question, can I ask, Sujata?
Yes, Mataji, of course.
So this is regarding, okay, things which we have bought and we are not using. But what about gifts? And which people have given us and presents, and which we feel that we should not, we feel as if we are cheating on them by letting these gifts go just because they've become old, or they are of no use at the moment. So how do we deal with that?
So one is gifts would come in the sentimental category. So that is step one. So that is the last item in the order of the categories that Marie Kondo has mentioned. So by that time, you've already honed your skill of decision making. Two is, what is the purpose of a gift? It's the purpose of the gift is for the receiver to feel joy when you receive it. It served its purpose. So if it's not bringing you joy, if it's not making you happy anymore, and nor is it functional, or it doesn't have any utility value, then I think you can just discard it without feeling guilty, because even the giver would not want you to use it or keep it with a sense of obligation, right? So it's absolutely okay to discard it if it's neither sparking joy, nor is it being useful to you, because it's served its purpose.
Right.
While it and also, before we end, Mataji, I mean, unless and until you have something, I wanted to talk about her folding technique. I mean, though we are not going to details of storage, but Marie Kondo, of course, is very well known for her folding techniques of clothes. So, of course, people can watch the tutorial on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what this method is like, you fold your clothes in such a way that they stand upright on their own. So what happens is everything is visible to you at the same time. And, when you're, so it's a vertical storage, like yes. Yeah. Thank you, Priya. Thank you so much. So this is my drawer of my trousers. And so this is the method that she really recommends when you're storing your clothes. So what happens is you can see, I mean, whatever, I can just, pick whatever I want to wear without disturbing the others, because if we horizontally pile them, the clothes that are at the bottommost layer get squished also. And we wear them less and less frequently. So this I just want to add, because since she's well known for this method.
So,
File
sorry, I'm
folding.
reading it on YouTube. So there is a question by Shubha Swami. She's saying, we declutter, but we clutter again. So does this method help?
Absolutely, because what is a mindset. That is why, hence Shubha, the 6 steps, the 6 essential rules of tidying. Because if you do it this way, I mean, there won't be any clutter in your life, and I guarantee. Of course, you'll have to. It's a difficult process, but you've got to stay committed to it, and set a deadline. When you're tidying, when you've decided that you're going to tidy in one go, set a deadline that you're going to finish it. And when does clutter accumulate again? Is because when we've not, what is clutter? When the space, the things or the items don't have a designated spot. That is clutter. If they go back in their homes, that's not clutter. So you will stop buying more things also, because everything will be so well organized. You've decluttered. If they don't have a space, you won't even buy more things. And more than anything, it'll really affect your mindset also. When you start the process, you will realize.
So beautiful. In fact, there are some comments on, we read a lot, but rarely do we put it into practice. You are inspiring. This talk has come at the most appropriate time. I'm about to begin my second innings. Shubha is shifting to Indore, she's saying. So she will be, yeah.
Oh.
And Then
Thank you so much, Shubha. Thank you.
Sapna is saying, thank you so much. Would love to see some more pictures of your storage
I
next time.
should have actually, my bad. My bad. I should have.
But another thing I want to tell all our
and also before, yeah, she wanted to see my storage solutions. But more important is, your decluttering and discarding before you start storing, and the mindset with which you embark on this expedition of tidying.
And look at that picture which we have imagined ourselves to
Yes,
our
yes.
house has looked. I'm not forgetting that, because come back to that picture. I think we should come. You should send us your cupboard pictures so that we can have that as a dream cupboard.
Will do, Mataji. Will do that, definitely.
So everybody is really happy with this session. Another thing I want to tell our viewers that Sujata is actually ready to help all of us on this journey, and she's ready to consult. If you would like to consult with her in decluttering and organizing, she'll be there to help you. So you can contact us, and we will. Actually, we had put up a concert, like a what do you say?
Contest.
Contest, yes, sorry. A contest on Insta, but I think we are not at the moment. I don't know what was the result, but 3 of those people who ever win that contest, Sujata has accepted to give a free consultation at that time for 1 hour, and online, virtually. So if you're interested, please go on our Instagram page and you'll find that contest, and you can participate over there. And if you want Sujata's guidance, first 3 will be absolutely free of cost. And thank you so much, Sujata, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And I hope I was able to contribute.
Absolutely, absolutely. You really helped
the team. And I'm so grateful to all of you, to this whole team.
Actually, to take out time, Sujata, at this point of time when Diwali, so many preparations are going on. So, but this is so apt for Diwali. And
yeah, a little late in the day, but yes.
No, but 2-3 days they still have.
Yes.
If want to start doing on one category, clothes category.
Yeah, turn your chaos into calm and declutter and reclaim your space.
Wow.
Physical as well as mental. And please begin on this journey. I'm telling you, the impact is going to be dramatic, honestly speaking. So yes, I just want to leave with those words.
Yes. Thank you, Sujata. I don't say anything after what you've just spoken. So that sums it up for all of us. I hope this session sparks joy in your life also. And you can tell so many more about this, and so that there's cleanliness and orderliness in your life, internally and externally. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Sujata.
Thank you, Mata.